Happy time, my damies, TopCat here and welcome back to the channel. We've got another big one for you today, as I wanted to take a look at our bow options in the game to showcase their strengths outside of just equipped Le Monarch and Le WHIM. Particularly as our lightweight bows got given a bit of love in the mid-season sandbox tuning. It's taken me some time to put this together, so I'd really love if you could smash that like, it would be greatly appreciated. Make sure to watch this one till the end, as whilst generally I haven't put this in order from meme to meta, there are some good ones throughout. Our lightweight bows have been one of the most rubbish and least effective subgroups for a long time. One could even argue they've never been good. And this is because they felt absolutely horrible at anything outside of close range, leaving you in a duel with the most meta of SMGs and hand cannons. You never had a chance. To address this, Bungie have increased the range at which they deal full damage and improved the accuracy a small bit as well. On paper, this means the damage fall off start distance is now 25 meters, up from 15, and the damage fall off end distance is 45 meters, up from 20. This gives us a lot more reliable damage numbers. Also, they've increased the final accuracy by 10%. This has drastically reduced that banana effect our lightweight bows used to be famous for. Additionally, come Season 22, all bows will be getting some changes to them. These will be in frame of the reload perks and how shots register at longer ranges, so I'm very excited for that. I want to first take a look at the Strident whistle. It's easy to farm through Zavala and has the largest perk pool of all the bows in the game. Moving target is an absolute S tier on bows. It helps massively for peak shooting, as bows play similar to hand cannons, just at a greater range. Harmony is tons of fun for bow builds. Final blows with other weapons improve this weapon's damage for a short time, transforming this into a one-tap monster. This works best on our solar subclass when using an acrobatics dodge. This class ability will make you and your allies radiant for 10 to 15 seconds, that's depending on your fragments, and this will make those one taps come easy. The explosive knife works really well here too, as you don't have to directly hit your target in order to set up an easy 2-piece 1-2 combo. My favourite weapon for this combo has been the last word for a long time, but obviously Immortal is a lot better option now, but I'm never going to recommend the Immortal to you. It's already too many of you using it. Whatever you pick, it has to work well and close to mid-range. Things like shotguns and fusions don't really work well here with the Harmony trait, but I would suggest something using primary ammo. The second trait I love on this bow is Adrenaline Junkie. It has that same potential for the one-shot. This bow has earned me several flawlesses. I love it, and I give it 9 out of 10 Batmans, the best Batman 2, not that new guy. So dig out your favorite grenade build. $10 saves is probably going to be your young Ahamkara spine build. It's a really powerful Creasy build as is, but pair it with this bow and you'll be clutching cards all day. All bows offer stopping power, but with the right traits we can get dropping power. The Biting Winds is another such bow. It's easily obtained through Varix on Europa. With Swashbuckler ×5, this too has the ability to one-tap with ease. Melee kills tend to be easier to come by, particularly if using the weighted throwing knife. This is the only standard melee ability in the game that can one-tap kill a Guardian. There are options like Peregrines for our Titans out there, but bows play at range, so it's nice to have a melee that does the same. The Arthur's Embrace Exotic can also offer us some flexibility. These trick knives can bounce off multiple walls. If bounced off 2 walls, they'll almost always find that crit spot. Now, you don't require a charge melee to get Swash ×5. A regular jab in the eye will get you there. The Trinity Ghoul is going to get 3 Adam Wests. It might have been the OG bow, but it's hilarious by today's standards. Now, this was obviously designed as a PvE weapon, and with the right modifiers it will shine there, because its nature is that one arrow splits into 3, so not super good when it comes to crucible and accuracy. But if you are committed to the meme, you can mitigate this by fully drawing back the bow and aiming down sights. This will keep that cluster of 3 nice and tight. Its perk is Lightning Rod. This will grant your next shot chain lightning capabilities. This adds an additional 33 damage to the target hit, or if chained to a secondary target, it will actually do 165 damage. The catalyst is definitely worth obtaining if you are going to troll peeps with the Trinity, as the lightning rod will trigger from any arc damage final blows. It could be your heavy, your super, your nades, or your fist. You will be granted that damage bonus and you keep it till you use it. You can meme further by using the Eternal Warrior helmet. This will give you that tier 4 surge after using your super, making the Trinity capable of one-shot kills. The warrior can also create arc surges based on our arc final blows. This feels sort of like Rampage, both in terms of the damage and the scaling up. And our kills keep refreshing this timer. But it is better being that any arc kills are going to fuel this perk. Sadly, we don't really have any better arc bows that are farmable currently, otherwise this helmet could actually be quite strong in 6s. The VERGLAS has shot up in stock with the changes to our lightweight frames, and it truly feels rapid now. And the magnetism at that 40 odd meters range feels nuts. That banana sundae effect has gone burgers. Its trait, Hail Barrage, is way more useful than one might think. Final blows grant stasis arrows that create stasis crystals. We use our hipfire to deploy them. This definitely feels best when used with the stasis subclass. I like the hunter, and I'm back using the glacial grenade. This grenade once terrified and delighted the Crucible lobbies with its tremendous shatter damage. Bungie eventually neutered the shatter damage, so now it's quite hard to get a kill with just the grenade. But if we combine the ice of the VERGLAS together with our grenade, shatter kills are back on the menu for all to enjoy. The Hunter's version of the grenade has a hollow segment in the middle of it, so the grenade will still get a shatter kill if you get someone trapped in there. You're going to want to use Whisper of Fishes to drastically increase the shatter damage. This will make for a very powerful way to use the bow in close combat duels. And with Whisper of Shards, when we shatter crystals, we gain boost to our grenade recharge rate. Shattering additional crystals will prolong this effect. We can further boost our recharge by using Whisper of Torment. This will boost our nade charge rate when taking damage. Whenever you are dueling with a bow, you're often got to be prepared to take a few licks, but it all adds up to more nades. I really do like this bow. Before the buff it felt quite vanilla, and now it feels ice ice baby. It's super cool, and for me it gets the Keanu seal of cool.
Pop quiz, asshole. You have a hair trigger aimed at your head, what do? Whoa!
Whisper of Chains will allow you to tank more damage, and you can use these crystals like a form of barricade. Now Shatter Dive is the tits when running your Revenant. I feel it's the easiest way to shatter those crystals immediately. I did try the bow with the Behemoth, it performed well. The Warlock doesn't actually have a method of destroying crystals via abilities, but I did lose the match the other day against a Stasis Warlock using the VERGLAS. He dropped 40 bomb on me. God, I'm a dumbass. I just realized how he'd done that. When he was hip firing out those icicles, he was shooting the crystal to create the ice flare bolts and freeze my allies. I mean, I didn't see him do that, but that makes so much sense. Damn, I gotta go try that now. The WOLFTONE draw was the bow that made me fall in love with bows. It was with this that my one-tapping journey started with Harmony. An Impulse Amplifier makes those arrows lightning quick, making it awesome to duel with even without the damage buff. In Season 21 we saw changes to the Mask of Baccharis. It's the light shift perk that converts your dodge into a shift, and this now gives you weapon damage in form of arc and stasis surges. Now the surge is available for 8 seconds, and with Harmony active it deals 193 damage, making it strong enough to one-tap Guardians at 60 resilience or less. The Raconteur is quite mid. I wanted to try it out with Gutshot straight though. Whilst aiming down sights, this increases our body shot damage but decreases target acquisition slightly. This takes your body shot damage from 95 to 122. Without Gutshot, you could only double body a Guardian if they were 40 resilience or under. However, with Gutshot, you can double body any Guardian regardless of their resilience. Gutshot recently saw a buff and now it doesn't strip as much aim assist as it did before. I did find it plenty accurate up to around that 35 meters, but past that I did find the arrows whipping a little bit. And I know certain guns feel like they got ghost bullets, this kind of felt like it had ghost arrows. The Raconteur also didn't have a great secondary option, so for that reason it gets a mid at best. The hierarchy of needs just needed it to be better. I mean, it works fine at point and shoot stuff. The draw is okay, the accuracy is okay, but its traits are just trash. On paper it sounds so cool, kills create guidance rings, arrows make big booms. The problem is it creates a stagnant playstyle. You make a ring to shoot through, but now you're stuck where you stand for 10 seconds. It's also so tiny, in order to give yourself sight lines you're often just exposing yourself. Not like in a trench coat way, I mean like you're just standing there in the middle of nowhere with no cover to protect yourself. If it was kind of like the Titan shield where you could shoot through it, it might be nice, but I just found it difficult to play tactically. I thought perhaps the Lawley might allow me to stand and fight, which it did I guess, but it was kind of short-lived as people would just eventually run away. So I changed tactics, I threw on heavy-handed, 3 surge mods and it did a bit more damage. Added peregrines for those guaranteed kills, so now with a surge, radiant and a ring you can one tap. But I did find this way too many hoops to jump through, so sometimes you just gotta call it, this bow is a trash monster. The Taradiddle on the other hand has really risen tremendously in stock with those lightweight changes. Despite being a lightweight frame with our favourite Splody Knife and Trippy Nade combo, we can still one tap tier 10 resilience Guardians. Whilst also having those great movement benefits of the lightweight, it's nice having it in the kinetic slot for another weapon combo option. The Whistler's Whim is my favourite lightweight. There are goats and then there are goats. Being our only adept bow, it surpasses all others, both by use of the adept mods and by masterworking it, all our stats get a bump up. We get bonuses to our accuracy, stability, handling, reload speed. Top on that, with our standard plus 10 of the masterwork, it is a stat monster. Being a vice weapon, it also comes with a vice stinger intrinsic trait. And this gives our bows that faster draw speed. To make any bow work for you, it's all about balancing the reload and draw speed. If these are balanced incorrectly, these two actions feel janky, but if done right, it should feel like one smooth action. I farmed out 38 of these to get my gold roll of draw time masterwork, high tension string, fiberglass arrow shaft and moving target. And this is the only bow in the game that comes with kill clip. Now kill clip has seen a nerf in Crucible since this bow was released. However, kill clip plus radiant will still one tap your 60 resilience and under Guardians. You'll need a surge mod, however, in there to take down those pesky titans. I would suggest using Emperor Solace. Your radiant and restoration effects applied to you are increased. I've been running this bow with the Aeon gauntlets. This will give me easy access to that radiant repeatedly, and this makes dueling multiple targets that much sweeter and easier. Under Your Skin was the first precision frame we could craft, and it's still the best. I've set this up as a jeweler's build to run and gun with my invisible hunters, with the idea being that I hit my shot first and follow up with a quick successive shot. We run a reload masterwork, flexible string and a compact arrow shaft. These will allow our long range archetype to thrive in close encounters. The precision bow has the largest stopping power of all our primary weapons, so it can actually duel in comfort during 1v1s. However, this can make it a little bit harder to fight multiple targets, so pick your battles wisely. Archer's Tempo is a bow specific trait that decreases the draw speed after each precision hit. Archer's Tempo gives you a 25% draw speed buff which stays active for 3.1 seconds. Enhanced Archer's Tempo gives you that same 25% draw speed buff which stays active for 4 seconds now. Successful warm-up takes it a step further. On weapon kills for 6 seconds, our draw speed is reduced by an additional 37.5%, but of course paired with tempo, that's a 52.5% draw speed increase, making 1v1s one and dones. So pick your favorite Embers build. I've currently been using the Falcons. It currently creates volatile shots whilst emerging from your Embers. Whilst this doesn't affect my TTK in 1v1s, it can help in group situations. I've predominantly been using it to further boost our Void kit for some more Invis options, allowing me to get that first shot in so I can follow up before they even realize they're fighting me. The artifact version 21 has Unto the Breach, Supernova and Protective Breach. These can further add Weaken and Overshield to our kit. Now with Season 21 coming to an end, both Stylish Executioner and Echo of Cessation will feed you that similar result to either turn us invis or giving us Void Breaches for more invis dodges. In for a penny, in for a pound, let's go full invis crazy with the Rat King. This sidearm works perfectly with this bow. I've always been a massive advocate for the Rat King. Its ability to turn you invisible makes getting the drop on your next opponent feel that much easier. Bows play at range, but you can't always play your game. Sometimes you have to play the game the way the enemy wants you to. And the Rat King allows you to scurry through those tunnels, clearing them out until you're in a position to fight your battle the way you want to again. The TICUU'S is a toy. It was never good, it was always shite. It is, however, better now thanks to the lightweight buff. Its trait is causality arrows. We hit fire out 3 tracking arrows that prime our targets. Arrows fired whilst ADS cause a detonation. However, precision hits will cause a big boom.
Big! Bada big boom!
In 6s this can work okay, as by its frantic nature your opponents aren't always expecting you. In a ranged 1v1 you're probably going to take that win. Up against guns like the Immortal, you're probably going to lose every time. I found it worked best on my Solar Warlock using the Ophidians. This gives us bonus to ready and reload speed. This goes a long way. It does sometimes though offer you that awesome Crucible Bliss, as if you can take that shot before you get gunned down, you can sometimes make that awesome collat kill. But the reality is, it's still just shithouse. With other bows, if you get an assist, you're at least done half the damage. With TICUU'S, you've only done 27. It's often the case that you'll barely contribute to a game, but still drop a 40 bomb with a 5 KD. I don't want to see Guardians out there using this, please. Use a proper bow like the Accrued Redemption. This bow is obtained through the Garden of Salvation raid. I like this bow, it's just unfortunate it does come from D2's least popular raid. The final boss is still glitchy till this day, and if it's not Bungie screwing you over, there's tons of ways for your teammates to troll you. I'm assuming that in Season 23 or 25, Garden will get that red border treatment. Until then, I can't say this is worth the grind. I do enjoy the bow personally, but like hand cannons and snipers, the sightlines and reticles can often make or break the gun for you. I personally don't mind the sights, but I have heard mixed reviews on it. Being an older bow, its perks are also a little outdated because of that Rampage nerf, thanks Igneous Hammer, but Rampage is still going to be your top pick here. Rampage times 2 does 183 damage, so not quite a one tap, but Radiant or One Surge mod will push this over so you can get it. But at Rampage times 3, you're going to be one tapping anything regardless of what resilience they have. The no distractions trait is often overlooked, but it actually works quite well on bows. Bow battles aren't like subby battles. Every arrow could be your last, and getting flinched off your shot sucks D. So pair this together with the Oathkeepers, and you'll be ready there to take that shot when it counts. The Oathkeepers are Robin Hood's wet dream. They'll make any bow build better. Season 21 saw it gain a damage bonus. Unfortunately, this was a big old cock tease, as it doesn't really work in Crucible. Now I understand that Bungie doesn't want thousands of players roaming around one-tapping everybody, but I just don't understand why change it otherwise. It's not like our exotic bows don't already carry in Grandmasters. If you don't have the point of the Stag, you can acquire this from in between those vaults at the tower. This is the OG Vorpal bow, Without Vorpal, this bow requires 3 crits. With Vorpal, Shadebinder needs 2 crits. The Noble Warp goes down in 2 crits. Stormcaller, 2 crits. And the Dawnblade, also 2 crits. The Gunslinger on the other hand nearly 1 taps. So we can double body, we can body melee. If you do have Radiant available, you can also get the 1 tap. Strain goes down in 1 crit 1 body. Similarly, so does our Spectral Blades Hunter, 1 crit 1 body. Arc, however, is much tankier, 2 crits without defense. Blocking equals Immortal. Is shot from behind though, it can penetrate. Arc Titans take 2 crits, however if they are wearing the Eternal Warrior, that'll take 3 crits. Hammers, despite the sunspots, went down in 2. Sentinel went down in 2. But with the new kids, Behemoth 1 crit 1 body, and the Berserker 2 was 1 crit 1 body. With Elastic String, it helps this precision bow keep up. You'll really need this to drop those supers, but it feels good in general play too. Tempo helps here too, as we really don't want to be standing around in front of a super for all too long, waiting to draw back that string. If you're not all about that Vorpal life, either Storm is also incredibly strong on bows. Once hit, it forces your arrow to go straight through their cranium. Throw in an accuracy masterwork for good measure, and despite being a fixed roll, it's a really good roll, guys. It duels amazingly well, guys. I'll often start the match with either Storm, then swap out to Vorpal around halfway through to bruise all those egos of those super users. I really love this bow, guys. 7 out of 10, easy. The LUNALATA was once one of those insta shards, but honestly, it didn't play as bad as I thought it was actually going to. It was actually hitting what I was looking at, which surprised the hell out of me. I played it with steady hands. Kills provide improved handling for all weapons for a short time. This was actually quite fun, as you do need to play lightweights that little bit closer. And being a station weapon, I opted for Headstone. Equip Touch of Winter to supersize, and equip Whisper of Chains. So whilst you are near frozen targets or a friendly stasis crystal, you take reduced damage from targets, allowing us to use these as a sort of barricade. The Whispering Slab was probably purged from your vaults a long time ago. I don't believe you can actually get it anymore, but I have been holding on to this one for years now, so I wanted to give it a crack. And now that lightweights have finally been buffed, today was the day. And you know what? It's not bad. I mean, my stats are pretty garbo, but Killing Wind and Opening Shot together was actually quite tasty. Still though, 4 stars out of 10, up from 1, not bad. The Wishy on the other hand is Christian Bale in the GMs and Clooney in the Crucible. I'm not about to complain about the Queen's Wrath trait though. Whilst aiming down sights with a fully drawn bow, we get wall hacks. This allows you to get that drop on anybody about to head around that corner. It works great against snipers, monarchs, scouts, long range pulsers and forerunners. Downside is though, as it turns you into a bit of a nervous Nelly. I'm constantly checking around corners, so it takes a little bit longer for me to get myself around that map. Its draw time is slow, its reload is even worse. Because of this, I feel like bow swapping is the best strat for the Wishy. Now I know it's a bit of a chumpy tactic, I felt dirty doing it, kinda like good dirty though. Downside is though, you really do have to keep your range. I found shotguns, subs, sidearms were just messing my shit up. Hunters had the Lucky Pants, which will allow you to ready your hand cannons lightning quick and more accurately immediately after swapping to them. I would recommend using holster mods. 2 will work fine, as you're only really spending 1 bullet from your mag. It's going to keep loading that pretty quickly, but I've been running 3 though. I'm using the Crisis Inverted, but there's plenty of great energy hand cannons out there, like the Pally, Exalted Truth, Igneous Hammer. I just like the Crisis Inverted, as I can max out the handling with Elemental Capacitor on my Arc subclass. Now I'm not going to test the Arsenic, I yeeted it in the bin because Bungo gave us the craftable lightweight bow called the Tripwire Canary. I had high hopes for this bow. It's craftable, it's got Vice Stinger trait. Unfortunately it looks good but just feels shit. I tried every combo of strings and arrows and accuracy and it always just felt a little off. I ended up going with the natural string, fiberglass arrow shaft, and draw time masterwork with the bias stinger. If you guys can find a better balance, please let me know. I want to love her, as that double damage perk in Dragonflight and Frenzy really does excite me. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to use this combo that often, as the bow just handled really poorly. If you're using Leviathans inside a Cruci, you're a crazy person, and you obviously like bows even more than I do. Yes, it is a one-shot kill, you get 2 of them, but it's clunky, and for those who don't reload cancel or run cancel their draws, you could easily waste that second shot. Now this review won't be including the Tyranny of Heaven. I want to do a standalone review on that. That'll be out in a couple of weeks, so look out for that. I've left links for all my builds in the description below. Make sure to thumb it, make sure to sub it if you're new, and until next time, tippy time my damies, what a time.
He's the most tip-top.